students, welcome back to the geography class. So let's continue with our chapter. The next topic that we are going to discuss today is effects of revolution. Yesterday I explained you about the revolution of the earth and the characteristic, I mean the speed and the duration, the exact duration and the approx duration that the earth takes to complete one revolution around the sun. So that is known as one solar year. Now what are the effects of revolution? So as I have explained you earlier also, that the first and the most important effect of the revolution of the earth is the seasonal change. Seasonal change is also possible just because of the tilted or the inclined axis of the earth. So I explained you earlier that the part that is in front of the sun, that is inclined towards the sun, that remains hotter and experience summer season, and the part that is away from the sun is warmer, or you can say less hot, or receives less heat and experiences winter season. Because of the tilt, because of the inclined axis of the earth, one hemisphere is always in front of the sun and other hemisphere is away from the sun, and the situation reverses after every 6 months. So for the first 6 months, northern hemisphere is at front of the sun, and for the next 6 months, southern hemisphere is in front of the sun. So this is just because of this inclination we experience seasonal change. But this revolution causes different seasons, like the changing weather condition due to differences in the heating of the earth. So because different part of the earth receives different amount of heat, so they experience different you can say season. And this is an annual cycle. Because this revolution is an annual cycle, means it takes complete one solar year to complete one revolution around the sun. So these seasons are repeated annually in both the hemisphere, and the seasons are just opposite in both the hemisphere. When it is summers in the northern hemisphere, it is winter in the southern hemisphere, and when it is winter in the northern hemisphere, it is summer in the southern hemisphere. Now next is inclination of axis and seasonal change. Because the earth is tilted, so these seasonal changes are there, but these seasonal changes are not abrupt. Abrupt means these are not sudden. Like you all must have experienced that we don't get suddenly, that it's not that today is summer, then again tomorrow suddenly it will be a winter season. No, there is a gradual phase. These seasonal changes are gradual. For example, we have winter season, then we will have you can say spring season. Spring means moderate type. In spring season we have moderate temperatures, not too hot, not too low. After spring season we have the summer season. Then after summer season we have the monsoon, then we have autumn, and then we have winter season. So that's what these seasonal changes are not abrupt. These are not sudden. Abrupt means it's not sudden. These seasonal changes are gradual. Gradually one part of the earth you can say experience the change in the season. Now because of this revolution of the earth, we face two you can say positions, perihelion and aphelion. Peri means close, ap means you can say far, helion means sun. So perihelion means near to the sun, aphelion means far away from the sun. So as you know that the earth revolves around the sun in an elliptical path. You can see this elliptical or oval path. Due to this, as I told you earlier also, there are some positions when the earth is quite closer to the sun. This position, this position, this position, and this position. In these four positions, earth is, you can say, close to the sun, and on this you can say position, earth is closest to the sun. So when the earth is closest to the sun, that is known as perihelion, means near to the sun. That is on 3rd January. And this time, as it's mentioned here, that one earth is just 147 million kilometers away from the sun. Then aphelion means far away from the sun, and this position occurs on 3rd July. On 3rd July, Earth is farthest from the sun. And what is the distance? On 3rd July, distance of the Earth from the sun is 152 million kilometers. So that these two situations are experienced because of this elliptical path or the elliptical orbit of the sun. So perihelion means near to the sun, aphelion means far away from the sun, and the dates are 3rd January is the position of perihelion and 3rd July is the position of aphelion. That means when the sun is farthest from the earth. Now the next effect of the revolution of the earth around the sun is creation of heat zones. You must have been studying heat zones from your lower classes. So because of the tilted axis of the earth, different latitudes, these are the lines of latitudes. I have explained you earlier also. So these you can say different latitudes receives different amount of sun rays or heat of the sun. Because of that, different heat zones are created on the earth. So there are 3 heat zones. Now I explained in the previous chapter also, but still I am explaining you. The area that lies between Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degrees south, experiences torrid zone. Torrid means what? Very hot, or the hottest region of the earth. So that this is on both sides of equator. So from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, from 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degrees south lies the torrid zone. Now, because this area, this zone of the earth receives direct rays of the sun. Now next zone is temperate zone. There are 2 temperate zones on the earth, north temperate zone and south temperate zone. North temperate zone lies between Arctic Circle and Tropic of Cancer, and south temperate zone lies between Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle. That is, north temperate zone lies between 66.5 degree north to 23.5 degree north, and south temperate zone lies between 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south. This region, these 2 regions, receives moderate amount of sun rays. That means not very direct, not too vertical and not too slanting. So they experience moderate type of you can say climate and moderate heat, amount of heat. Then the 3rd heat zone is known as frigid. Temperate means moderate, okay, not too cold, not too hot. Next heat zone on the earth is frigid. Frigid means too cold, coldest, very cold. Now this lies between Arctic Circle and North Pole, and in south also, south frigid zone, Antarctic Circle and South Pole. And again it is from north frigid zone lies between 66.5 degree north to 90 degree north, and south temperate zone lies between 66.5 degrees south to 90 degree south. Because these regions receives very slanting rays of the sun, so these regions are very cold, too cold. In fact, it's because of the inclined axis of the earth, one pole is always away from the sun and one pole is always in front of the sun. So one of the pole experiences 6 months of day and other experiences 6 months of night. So these are the 3 zones, the torrid zone, the temperate zone and the frigid zone. Okay, so these are the 3 heat zones. 3 heat zones on the earth according to the varying amount or the different amount of the heat received by the sun. I hope it's all clear to you. Let me stop here, and in the next video I'll explain you about solstices and equinoxes. So till then, goodbye and take care.